Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, June 6th, 2024. My name is Sam Shalhoub, and it's time for your daily dispatch. First up, let's all give Mike Lindell some help. He's got his hands full. He's doing his best to protect the elections, and he could use our support. So go to mypillow.com, enter in the discount code SAM, and let's give Mike some help that he richly deserves. Now to the news. The FBI Director Chris Wray declined to answer whether President Trump's recent New York hush money guilty verdict amounts to, quote, election interference. Gee, I wonder why he doesn't want to make a comment on that. Well, I think we all know the answer to that. So Elon Musk's X request Supreme Court investigate how Jack Smith obtained President Trump's social media files. Is this going to be some of the X files to be released in the coming days, weeks, or months? Well, it sure looks that way to me. The Arizona Republican Party has filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes, after allegedly discovering between 500,000 and 1.3 million illegal voters on the voter rolls, including dead people and non-residents. Now, this is in Arizona. I know the same type of thing is happening here in California. I believe it's Judicial Watch is involved in that lawsuit, as well as I think it's called the Voter Alliance Network. The president is Linda. Anyway, it looks like that's happening in multiple states, and I, for one, am glad to see it. Yesterday, the European Central Bank was set to cut rates for the first time since 2019. Does that mean that the other central banks are going to do the same? If they do, what happens to inflation? I mean, it's already out of control, but if this takes place, buckle up. So we've talked a lot about Bitcoin on this broadcast. Well, Bitcoin miners, their holdings have plunged 50%. In other words, the supply has dropped, and they have reached their lowest level in over 14 years. So you know what happens when supply drops and demand is up, price goes through the ceiling. Again, go to samshalhoub.com, click on the buy Bitcoin button, and I'll show you how to do it if you're so inclined. A former White House physician turned Republican lawmaker says President Biden's mental fitness is a matter of national security. And I use that term president very loosely. But again, more exposure coming out about Biden and his cognitive, or I should say lack of cognitive abilities. Yesterday, we spoke about multiple phone services going out or being compromised. Well, it came out yesterday that Tuesday's down cycle that happened with AT&T and Verizon and so forth, that it could have been caused by a cyber attack. And customers in at least 24 states were impacted by the outage. That's a huge slice of the pie. The Georgia Court of Appeals has ordered a stay of all proceedings in Fulton County against President Trump and the other defendants seeking to disqualify Fani Willis pending the outcome of the appeal. That's huge news. If this thing gets tossed, boy, that would be a wonderful thing to see. And I'm sure at some point something like that is going to happen, but it's good to see that it's coming out in the mainstream. And then lastly today, we've talked a lot about the vice presidential possible picks for President Trump. Well, apparently yesterday, President Trump has been vetting paperwork with the following potential vice president candidates. From Florida, Senator Mark Rubio. From Ohio, Senator J.D. Vance. From South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott. From North Dakota, Governor Doug Burgum. From Florida, Byron Donalds. New York, Elise Stefanik. And also Dr. Ben Carson. That's a pretty rich playing field there. I think I have my picks for who it is, but I'd love to know who you think it might be from this list. Your guess is as good as mine, and I'm sure that nobody knows for sure, but I find it interesting that these names came out. So that's all we have for today. If you'd like to support this channel, go to samshalhoub.com or MyPillow. There's multiple ways to do it. And in the meantime, I hope that you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.